It is a long way down. Holy crap. All right, Lover's Leap Day 2, get it. Really excited to climb some more moderate classics. We got Surrealistic Pillar, Hospital Corner, and Corrugation Corner lined up today. Gonna be 8 pitches, mega classic, can't wait. Surrealistic Pillar looks really cool. I'm really excited, it's gonna be fun. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in for another one of our climbing adventures. Here we are, Lover's Leap Day 2. This was going to be our biggest day, and we were really looking forward to getting on a lot of routes. We spent the night at the campground the night before, and we had the campground booked for the same evening. Couple that with the really long days of mid-June in the summer, and we were in for a really, really memorable day. We started on Surrealistic Pillar with me taking the lead, and I really have to say that I absolutely loved this route. It was really, really cool, really unique. The dikes especially just made it really memorable. I mean, they're big. You're pulling on some big, big jugs. I almost thought this route kind of was like a Red Rocks route in the sense where like at Red Rocks, you're doing a lot of trad climbing where you're protecting the cracks, but you're not really climbing like a trad climber, whereas you're doing a lot more sort of face climbing moves, and that was definitely the style of the first pitch of this climb. So I really enjoyed that. I made it to the belay, no problem, and Masha did a great job of following before it was her turn to take the lead.
Like, I feel like I'm like slow and careful, but I'm like trusting my feet.
Yeah.
No, I did one jam, hated it.
I did about 1 too, but it stuck, so I was happy. You look like a boss. So it turns out that when you're rock climbing, you actually want to go up, meaning that going left at the belay like Masha just did was not the way to go, but that shot was just too cool not to leave in. She climbed up probably 25-30 feet, avoiding that tasty looking crack on the right, because that is definitely not 5'7", it's definitely more like 5'9", off width territory, which we're trying to avoid these days. Yeah, once you went up like 25-30 feet, you do this traverse left, and according to the guidebook, there's a couple places you can do it. You usually kind of just have like a dike for your feet and a dike for your hands, just kind of go around. Once you get around the corner, there is not a lot of protection, however, so you want to make sure that before you get around the corner, you take advantage of any placements you have, and then when you actually are climbing the dikes, you want to make sure that you place whenever you get the opportunity. Masha ended up leading for about 68 of the 70 meters of our rope, which was really awesome. So we actually were able to do this route in 2 pitches. This is me following the second half of the route, which is really like the second 2/3. Once again, tons of, great jugs in the dike, and you really sort of understand why this route is called what it is. Like, you just never would expect these features to exist. It's crazy. The rock is like so smooth, but just cut by these dikes that offer phenomenal hand and footholds everywhere. Everything from, little crimpers to huge jugs. This is me navigating the sort of airy traverse around the corner. Once you get around the corner, the angle does ease up a little bit, so it gets a little easier. The guidebook calls it kind of like 5-5R dike hiking, and I think that the dike hiking moniker really fits. I mean, you are just kind of like every 3-ish feet, there's a horizontal, and you just kind of like get the hands up there, get the feet up there, get the hands up there, get the feet up there. You might have to do a little bit of sort of left-right weaving depending on how long your legs are, because there's definitely a couple of high steps, but I mean, it just flows so well and was really, really enjoyable. It was a great way to start the day. So Surrealistic Pillar is done. It was a lot of fun, especially the dike hiking on that last pitch was really great. And now we're gonna head up and try Hospital Corner, which is a 2-pitch, with the second pitch going at 10A. Masha's been wanting to do it for a while, and she's gonna champ up and look awesome on it. Can't wait to see it. The first pitch of Hospital Corner is really nothing to write home about. There's one 5-8 crack move in the first 10 feet, then the route kind of just eases until it's kind of sub 5-6 before you get to the belay ledge, which Masha's pretty close to right here.
Nice.
The second pitch, however, is something to write home about, ranting and raving. It is unbelievable. It's about 30-ish meters of just incredibly sustained 5'9" to 5'10" hands, fingers, stemming, the whole gamut. It gets 5 out of 5 stars in the guidebook and definitely deserves it. Masha had first mentioned this climb to me the first time we ever got in contact to decide whether we wanted to be climbing partners, and it's really a shame that it took us so long to get onto it. Masha climbed this pitch phenomenally well. I could tell at the belay before she took off she had a little bit of nervous excitement, but as soon as she got on the wall she was able to turn that off. She did a great job of moving at a good speed, pausing briefly, really decisively picking great gear placements, and just moving efficiently so she wasn't too gassed by the time she got to the crux. Unfortunately, she did end up taking one fall. I think it was her first fall ever on a 5'10" multi-pitch, so that's a great achievement to get out of the way. And she fell on one of those gray offset nuts, so you knew it was going to hold, and it wasn't really that big of a deal. She doesn't get scared. She trusts her placements. Like, this is the type of stuff that new trad climbers should take note of. She's a great role model in terms of pushing your grade, trusting your gear, keeping your head cool while leading something that's really, really challenging. She did a phenomenal job, and I was really, really proud of the effort she put in, because it was immense, and she was fighting right up till the end. I wish I could say that I followed Masha's lead and just strongly and confidently followed this pitch, but that was not the case. I did end up following clean, which I was very happy about, but I did not feel good for some reason. The sustained nature and just like how thin everything was didn't feel great for me. I do have larger than average hands, so what's hands for a lot of people isn't really comfy for me, and what's thin hands for a lot of people is my nightmare, and a lot of sort of, 5'9", 5'10" stuff tends to just be thin hands, so it's really tough for me. Everything from just the smeary feet, the finger locks, the pulls, I was making my life a little harder on myself than I needed to, and this thing felt super full on, and that kind of got in my head for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, I was following and I knew it was 100% safe, but I mean, you're up there, and there's a little bit of exposure, which unfortunately rattled me way more than it should have. Conferring with some friends, I think I probably should have used the crack on the left a little more. Masha didn't use it at all, and I used it for some of the stemming to get a couple of rests, but I was never really using my hands there, and I think that there are some opportunities to kind of pull onto the left wall to make your life a little easier.
It is a long way down. Holy crap.
That position is just spectacular. If you're a rock climber, you know you want to be there, and of course this route does come highly recommended. Unfortunately, I am going to start signing off. I know at the beginning of the video I said we were going to climb Corrugation Corner as well, and we did, but this video was just getting a little long, so I'm going to make that a separate video. Please hit that subscribe button, and I will have Corrugation Corner for you next week, and I also have a slew of other stuff coming your way that you don't want to miss. In addition to the usual California hiking, rock climbing stuff that I have, I did some trips to Seattle, namely North Cascades National Park, as well as some climbing in Montana that flies really under the radar that you don't want to miss. So please hit that subscribe button to get access to all of my adventures, and I hope to see you on another adventure. I will see you next time.